Welcome back, everybody. Today we have the first of our mech high roll games from this channel. That being the Holy Mech Roll, Greasebot, Deflectobot type comps. This is going to be a staple in the meta moving forward, especially once, you know, dragons are fixed. We don't have that whelp smuggler bug. And that is the ability to play for a bunch of resets and do what was effectively the Holy Mackerel strat back in the day. You put a bunch of divine shields on the board, preferably good ones, especially if you have deflectobots. You taunt up a Holy Mackerel and play for resets. Army of the Empire gives you scaling. Light Fang and Battlecry units give you some small amount of scaling, but the main form of scaling for this kind of comp is going to be the Greasebot. Greasebot gives you +2/+1 every time a divine shield is popped. That happens a lot in these compositions. Sorry, my dogs are going nuts. And since you're going to get a bunch of resets on shields for Deflectobot and for Holy Mackerel, you can take a lot of attack a turn. Pair that with Army of the Empire and it gets out of hand pretty quickly. You make really nice taunt comp boards with all the mechs and the resets. It's a pretty good staple for tempo meta. And very useful when you can get the right pieces. Alright, enjoy. I think we go 2. I don't really want to play for this pair and roll or freeze for mummy and try to do Jeef curve with it. It's not a good enough set of minions to go for Jeef curve. It's a free map. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to take the map. A lot of times I wouldn't level there. And if that was the case, then I might roll. Nah, I'd always take Tidehunter. So it's either this or nothing. I may never use the map. We'll see. Oh, that's kind of cool. Puzzle Box and Everbloom are both good. We could level to 3 here with Everbloom. Just buy up a Kaboombot, or we can just take a random 2-star. Puzzle Box gives us an extra minion on the board. If we knew we had one of these hero powers for next turn, these are both like, both of them are good. But we don't know we're going to have one of these for next turn. I've seen better. I think we'll prioritize Acolyte here over Kaboombot. Should move this up, but still. Gave him a triple. Doomsayer isn't very good. I'm playing Cthulhu and none of my minions are dying. How are you on 3 is Cthulhu? Dragon's Bane? Nah. Does seem good. Does seem good. Hey, look, we could steal Tessa's stuff right back. Bam. I don't know. Take a 3-star right now. It's expensive. Craziest meta? Eh. I want a level, man. Definitely an interesting one. Do we view Death Rattle value as better than Tribal value? This is just a better statted minion too. But yeah, craziest meta. That's shaping up to be a pretty interesting one. We don't have anything that's just so utterly busted that's ruining the game. We have a lot of really strong lines. There's no like, we can't play the game because demons are way too oppressive, or we can't play the game because dragons are too oppressive. You still play the game. Now, if you remember Saralisk meta, you remember what it was like when like a low tier minion dominated the game so hard that there were no real choices. Member Pogo meta? Yeah, I mean, Pogo meta wasn't that polarized. Janda's Pogos wasn't like oppressive. You played the whole game like normal. Am I just buying a Whelp Smuggler because it is there on the board and I would like a Whelp Smuggler? We don't have any way of making use of this. Good patch? It's a great patch. It's a lot of fun. I love this patch. There's tons and tons of stuff to do. It's very interesting. There are a couple bugs which are clouding people's judgment on like whether or not it's a fun patch. Which, you know, bugs do make the game less fun. But once we get past those bugs, then the real patch will shine through. Those were some good hits after the fact. Those were some good hits. Evening, Bofur. What's up, Drew? What's up, Yuck, by the way? I like our no direction board. Trying to figure out how I want to position this. Like, you can play these three with Zarella and stay on 3 for a turn. I think that's just going to be the play. Is that we just hero power this, buy these guys up. Because if we level to 4, first of all, we're going to lose the round. Second of all, we have no direction, we have no pairs. We're just going to have to take a 5-star that gives you direction. Or 4-star gives you direction. There's no taunt comp in the game. Domo's a good hit. Argus type of stuff is a good hit, but that's it. That's all I can really hit. And if I don't play for a pair or I don't put decent minions on the board and some stats, I'm just going to take damage now and I'm never going to recover. That Panda is all the RNG goodness I would expect from Hearthstone? Yeah. It's a fun patch for sure. I think the bugs honestly are not too big. Like some bugs maybe actually bugs and working as intended, such as a Razorgore bug. Maybe it's just coded. We have the math for it. We know how it's working. It's bugged. Like, it is counting each instance of buffs each time that it adds a +2 health. Which means if you have 5 instances of the same buff, then it gives a +10 health bonus for that 5th instance of the buff. Like, that is 100% a bug. We shouldn't have 3,500 Razorgores. Like, no doubt in the world that is a bug. 100%. That being said, the patch is very fun. I don't love it, but my only other option was really cycling through and not looking at the next board before we take a we drop a pair, like the anomaly. So we only waste 1 gold, or more accurately what we do is we make a 2/2 on the board instead of a minion that's effectively 4/4. But we give ourselves the opportunity to hit a different triple. Both are fine. This hero's crazy fun. He's interesting. He's interesting. I mean, we've gotten nothing in terms of value from our hero power this game. Like, everything is basically worse than just being a tier 2 hero. And I think that's part of the reason that people like it a lot, is because it does feel like it's very swingy, RNG-y. One of the parts that, you know, I don't like quite as much is the portion of this that is that you can't plan future turns very effectively. And it feels like the headroom for the hero is a little bit low. You just kind of work with what you get each turn, which is fun. It's less exciting. Such a good hit. Greasebot on a Boon of Light here. Alright, we have our direction. We have our direction. I mean, you're on the board, you're on the board. So we sell here, we put Bronze Warden down, we put Crackling Cyclone down, and hero power one of these guys. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the hero isn't good, nor the hero takes a lot of skill or whatever. I'm just saying not being able to plan your next turn, gold-wise, makes him very awkward, and it removes that element from a hero. And while that is okay, you gotta get used to it. That is a downside for the hero. That turn was very skillful. Agreed. I don't think there's anything like this. Hero was very good, and he's interesting. He has different ways to optimize him. Sometimes it just comes down to I got Reno hero power. We've actually played 8 games with this hero thus far. Seen Reno's hero power once, Akazam's twice. Neither got Ice Block. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think you should get it every game. In fact, what we've seen from the responses from the devs is that we have a pretty big range of differences of how much you're offered each of the hero powers. Fuck you, dude. It's Greasebot twice in a row. Alright, that at least was something. Yay! Yay! Yay, adjacent. So we lost a 15%er and a 15%er back to back. Not great. But we did get good scaling. Good, but not great. Was on his board. Was a Mama Bear? No way we go into that, right? I feel like I'm just taking a 5 here. There's no reason to take a 6. I can make this a 4/4, or we could look for something better. No mackerel. I mean, we'll take the Light Fang for the stats, but man, at least one of these is happening. Probably just one. We don't have armor or anything. Yet. Eek. I don't like any of these. I'm just gonna do this, but maybe swap those two. Swap first? Yeah, except it's just a 4-4, and I can put it on something else on the board. And 4-4 instead of 4-1 is almost negligible in that type of situation. So there's really no reason to commit the hero power. You have the rest of the turn to do something. If I was taking a 6, sure. Then you don't do anything else for the rest of the turn. Unfortunately, we didn't really find anything that was useful. If we found a or a Noia module, or we found a mini bots or whatever, we got a huge upgrade from what we took. Unfortunately, we didn't. So we can't be too upset. We didn't really hit what we were looking for. Shocking. Warden could have been 1-1 bigger. Yeah, except it's just like nothing, right? It's just nothing. There are good hits, and you're choosing to take something immediately for like marginal value, and you have the whole turn to do something better. Just because we didn't hit it doesn't mean that's wrong to shoot for that shot. We have a 3-4-5 on the board. We're not leveling the 5, so maybe we do this. Second deflector is pretty cool. I wish we had the swap. If we did, we would have swapped anything into that and bought it last turn, for example. No. No. Triple's pretty irrelevant, right? Freeze for Leaper? Yeah. For one more turn, we'll keep the life thing around. But yeah, it's pretty easy to second guess plays when obviously we didn't find what we were looking for, but there are 4 or 5 things that are major upgrades, and the value of using it up front is very small. I don't care about the buff on this death rattle that much. I'd rather this hit go earlier. Playing around Cleave was the right call there. Going first was the right call too. Look at that. Feels good, man. Alright. Good fight. Very good RNG for that fight. I think it was Jakirik was saying it, but Leaper might be the most relevant for Grease comps specifically because they make a Greasebots themselves more relevant. Yeah, Grease comps are just like... I don't know. I don't really know how to make a determination on them yet. They are fine. They're fine comps. But they're just, they pale in comparison to the stats that these real comps can put on the board. They're very damage control-esque. Alright, we'll just grade another turn. Right? Ghost round. Get another Light Fang scaling. And then we can decide on what we want to do with the module and our hero power for next turn. Unfortunately, we can't push the button now because, you know, we rolled into this that we have to freeze on and we want to greed this. We're not going to drop either of these. They're just as much scaling. Only reset we have in this game. It'd be really nice to triple the Greasebot, then we could get Deflecto down on the board. Play Leaper through with it. Having double Deflecto, obviously really good. Yeah, it's tough to make a judgment call on Greasebot comps. They're basically like little pseudo Light Fangs, which is really good in the scope of a tempo game. They're pretty weak in the scope of most of the other games that we're playing right now. Is a 3-star elemental buff not good enough? It doesn't seem to fit much worse than Jug to me. I mean, Jug's a 6/6. But yeah, I mean, it's a reasonable card to pick up. It's just reasonable though, right? And I think we can do better. 4/4 buff on a Divine Shield versus 3 2/2 buffs. There's going to be a break point there, where depending on how much gold you have left in the turn, can you find something better on the next 3 boards, for example? When there's like 5 gold left, you're committing that last gold to that specific unit. They're okay to pick up, it's just That's the end of the turn, right? Reborn is nothing right now, but is another reset. Not reset. Not good enough to pick up is kind of the determination I keep making. Not enough. There's an arm. Finally. Doesn't mean I don't take it. There's that triple we were talking about needing if we are going to play the other Deflecto on the board. We have really good value. Such good value out of our Reborn here. I guess just Deflecto. We need 4 open board spots to do it, but it's the most likely one. Yeah, all I'm saying is there's a break point somewhere. Somewhere there's a break point where I want to spend X amount of gold on a 4/4 buff. And that number, or that likely point where you want to buy that buff, it's higher at the beginning of the turn, it's lower toward the end. Especially once you're down to 6 gold, for example, and you know you're going to roll again. You're saying like, oh, I have 6 gold left. I can buy 2 things on this board. If I buy 1, then I'm done for the turn, effectively. Naturally. That's kind of where I was. Didn't really talk about it too much, but I didn't value it enough to keep going or using it after that. Why not Reborn this 26-19 for the possibility of a reset? I mean, it's not a bunch of stats back, right? It's a 3/6 back, and it gives the opportunity of a reset. The problem is the Deflecto bot is going to be taunted or shielded by the time that attack goes by. So what you really need to happen is that he has to hit Deflecto with like the 1 initiative hit before Deflecto attacks, and then hit the Greasebot for you to get value off of it. I might take a 6 here. There is actually a good 6, right? That means we can play that hero power. You probably can use it twice in the turn. Didn't really think about it, but I wouldn't have pushed the button for a 3/3. It's a good one. No. Okay. Yay! Everything but Deflecto. We see elementals, we play around elementals. Yeah, but if we look at the things to Reborn, Deflecto getting Reborn is obviously relatively low value, right? It's a tie break at the end. It gives you a 3/2 Divine Shield back again. If you get Greasebot, which was positioned like this before, right? Or it was like in this position, to Reborn this and actually get the reset, whatever's in front dies, all of these taunts die, right? So once all the taunts die, I think we had something like this as our order. This Greasebot loses its shield when it attacks. We need Deflecto to lose its shield again before this thing gets hit. And when that thing gets hit, which is not a very likely thing to happen, it needs to die in the process too. So we need like 2 good hits in a row to hit that. Otherwise they end up getting no reset when that thing dies. Go Deflecto board. Go stop hitting all of my Divine Shields with your tokens. It's a really long go, but I felt it in my soul. I think we got him, guys. I think we got some. I love the new mech minions. Yeah, they're all pretty interesting, and the fact that we have such high roll meta stuff from mid-game units that we're not even talking about how good mechs are right now kind of gives you an idea of how many different things that we're looking at all at once. How many different things can be broken at the same time. Like, mechs are very, very, very strong. They are just not completely and utterly busted like we're seeing on some of these things. Alright, one time. Microbots. Nodders. Nodders, okay. We made a Holy Mechrel, Divine Shielded, Taunted, with a swap that turn. Gotta love Vol'jin. Turns out getting a tier 1 hero, or a high tier 2 hero with your hero power is pretty good. If only we were that hero the entire game. Hey look, he's a mech board too. Aren't we all cute together? Would you stop? Alright, that was at least a good hit. Thankfully. That wasn't. Jesus. Got him. Didn't kill him. Lost the coin flip of the lethal. Oh. Reno died to the ghost that we killed. Oh, we got a reborn. That's kind of cool. We can reborn the mackerel, right? If it dies, it comes back and then it's can re-shield itself. That's not bad. Golden Selfless Hero could be okay. I think that's too far away to consider. Worth a reborn on my Exna? Probably not. We have to sell something and we're board locked. Like, what are you going to get to... You're going to replace a Deflecto and against another Deflecto board? Seems pretty weak. Ghoul. Ghoul's okay. It's actually not as bad as you might think. Oh, you're saying reborn with a snake, or are you saying reborn with this? Gotcha, 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 gotcha. I was thinking with the snake for a second. That's why I was like, no, 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 we don't want to open a board spot. But I'm thinking the win rate against this guy, I'm pretty sure reborning Mackerel's probably better. You could argue that buying a Rattler at some point, especially if we get a good hero power for it, would be a tolerable thing to do. It's just we don't... Once again, 5 gold left. What am I doing with it? We get down to that place where it's like, okay, maybe it's useful for later. I want Divine Shield, then I want not Divine Shield, then I want Divine Shield again, right? Ghoul's pretty good for sure because his Deflecto's taunt. Yeah, his Deflecto's taunt. But he also has the same kind of out as us, right? He has the reset on the Holy Mackerel is his play. Would you look at that? He snipes it. We got it back though. It's not as big anymore. Damn, his hits were good. Good thing we had our mackerel sniped and then sniped. But we're just a little bit bigger. Our map. Yeah, our map chilling. Board space. I like it. I like that line a little better than like reborning my ex. Now he has too many divine shields. We never get value off of it. Just another bumper, and it makes it so 2 attacks in a row don't reset mackerel, which is what's really concerning.